It might predate the muscle car, but this is one high-performance Pontiac that we had to share. So, what's a swanky rocket ship like this 1957 Pontiac Bonneville doing on a show like Muscle Car of the Week? Well, sit back and let me share the news, my friend. This is one of the 630 or so 57 Bonnevilles built with the factory-installed, fuel-injected 347 cubic inch V8 lurking behind that spacey-looking grille. And man, it's a runner. It's hard to believe that Pontiac, known for being GM's high-performance car line for longer than a half a century, was once thought of as kind of a boring family car. And Pontiac built reliable cars for families, but it wasn't until Bunky Knudsen took over in 1956 that the image shifted from purposeful to exciting. Yeah, Pontiac was in trouble, and the new car buying market was getting younger. So Knudsen's goal was to energize Pontiac with style and performance, famously saying, "You can sell a young man's car to an old man, but you can't sell an old man's car to a young man." While it's true that muscle cars really didn't hit the streets until the mid-1960s, this 1957 Pontiac Bonneville was one of the most powerful cars you could buy back then. With a 347 cubic inch fuel-injected V8, this is a rocket ship on wheels. Introduced as a convertible only and named for the high-speed Holy Land, all 630 57 Bonnevilles were powered by an advanced 347 cubic inch V8 fed by a mechanical fuel injection system similar to the Rochester unit used by Chevrolet. Pontiac didn't publish numbers but claimed over 300 horsepower, enough to push this cruise missile to 60 miles an hour in just over 8 seconds. And all the while, Pontiacs were setting NASCAR records with engines tuned by legends like Smokey Yunick, during a time when racing was banned by GM. So now you have looks, speed, and rebellion. And what young car buyer doesn't like that? When it comes to styling, today's cars are like boring blobs of nothing compared to the fins, chrome, and stainless details on this awesome 57. And they only made 630 of these cars, but I bet everybody wanted one. Most of the 57 Bonnies were white with red interior accents and trim inserts, but ours is the less common Kenya ivory with Fontaine blue accents. Late 1950s GM cars were often dripping with chrome, and this one is no different. We really dig the rocket ship trim running the whole length of the car, and details like the forward-leaning fender chevrons and leaned-over fuel injection badges further suggest speed. Taillights extrude from the bright bezels molded into the quarters, and dual exhaust tips poke through the bumper. And the angled Bonneville script looks like it's just trying to hang on to the quarter panel. Up front, the grille reflects a waterfall design, allowing plenty of air for the 347. Tri-bar wheel covers and white walls add more style, and the chassis is a perimeter frame with a strengthening X-brace in the middle, and power brakes and steering keep the ride under control. A 2-speed Strato-Flight hydromatic transmission actually sounds kind of lame today, but was standard fare back in the day. The dash is equally stylish with a 120 mile an hour speedo flanked by temp, battery, fuel, and oil pressure gauges. Heater controls and a Wonder Bar radio live front and center, with a clock off to the right. The dash trim mimics the lower quarter panel cladding, and the upholstery was as up to the minute as the models on New York runways. And check out the pedals, one for brake, the other for power. It's a bold car, and Knudsen's plan worked. Pontiac took the lead as GM's performance car brand until they pulled the plug on the division in 2010. There are many muscular Pontiacs in the brothers' collection, but they all point back to this car. You know, this fuel-injected Bonneville is like the official ride of all things cool. And there are a lot of really awesome cars here in the brothers' collection, but we'll try real hard to top this one for next week's show. In the meantime, click the YouTube subscribe box, the Facebook like box, and we'll see you down the road on Muscle Car of the Week.